यहाँ पे देखो ना, यहाँ पे फोटो के साथ मैम, साइड 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 नाम लू किया।
Cinema lovers are in for a treat, and as huge fans of Kareena here, I'm going to ask you the simplest question. Which is your favorite film of yours?
I think it's so unfair to pick one film, considering like Narika just said, I've done 67. I didn't even know that. I think after a point, you just lose count as, what number film it is.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Which is the film you've seen most, your own film? The maximum rewatches or...
Oh, God, I don't know. Maybe it would be, I think, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham. I think just as half the world has, I think I'm pretty much a fan of that film as well because, I love the idea of family, tradition, just that warmth. It gives you that warm feeling. I think that's what everyone kind of loves. And that's why it's, I think, one of the most loved films also.
I think, Kareena, you must also be given credit for giving us a prototype of a Hindi film heroine that we keep seeing versions of. So you played Geet and you were Pooh, and after that there are these so many characters in different films, even now with varying percentages of the Geet quotient and the Pooh quotient. What do you make of it today with your experience and the benefit of hindsight when you rewatch, say, a Pooh or a Jab We Met? Did you ever imagine that it's going to be such an integral part of popular culture?
Not at all. I think when we were doing Pooh, at least, I was following just Karan's instructions. I knew it was like a super fun character, but no one really thought that, 25 years later, you'll still have characters based around who are like her, That was never really the intention, because I think when you set out with an intention of saying that we have to make this character great, or, this has to be amazing, it's going to be fab, and, think that. I think it just happens. Magic it just has to happen, You never really know when you're creating it. And with Geet, it was the same thing, because I was shooting Tashan simultaneously. And Tashan was like a really big film, because it had Akshay Kumar, it had, Anilji, it had Saif Ali Khan, and, it was a YRF film. Whereas Jab We Met was like, it was more like, it was like we were new, and, Imtiaz had done one film, and there were never really any big names attached to it at that point. So I was always like, I'm like, Tashan is going to be amazing, and, I'm working on this body and going to do my action film, and I would just like, come on the set, but my focus was Tashan. But I didn't really know what was happening, and then Jab We Met just released, and, not that Tashan isn't special, but people just loved Jab We Met more than that. So when you think that, everyone's going to watch this, but everyone watched that. So there was no real plan that, it's going to be amazing. I was also a bit like, no one really thought that. So it just happens. I think magic should just, happen. It can't be planned. We say it can be created, but it's just...
I completely get you, because another thing that wasn't planned and it happened and it felt like magic was the whole Sananana trend.
Yeah.
Suddenly it was
like 18, 20 years.
And we were all waiting for you to probably do that.
No, I was just like, oh God. But though, I think it truly is an iconic song because of the way Santosh shot it. There was something very raw but yet sexy about it. And everyone wanted to see it was like, this quintessential heroine who was, the classic under, the waterfall and being fun, and people connected to that energy, I feel, somehow. And I'm so happy that Ashoka is part of the re-release list, because it truly is one of my most favorite movies. Because, I was like, I think 20 And it was obviously my first actual film which I did with Shah Rukh, because in K3G I was an opposite Shah Rukh. So for me, Ashoka will have amazing memories, and I think the music, look at it, like you said, the trend. So I think people are going to come to the theatre and going to watch it, because the music from Raat Ka Nasha to San Sanana, it was all just, it was so ahead of its time, I think.
Super. You know, a lot of filmmakers that you've worked with, your co-stars, have on record said that, listen, Kareena is spontaneous. Like the camera's on and she's another person and you don't know where that's coming from. I know you cannot ask a magician ki batao bhai apne tricks. But honestly, I mean, you of course have it in your genes. That's no surprise. But what do you do, especially with your dialogues and your delivery? Because you almost make it your own in a way that today we find it so hard to believe that you're not Pooh or that you are not Geet. How is that possible?
I know I think half the decade went where people thought I was Pooh, and like I lived like her and had all these couture clothes and thought that I was so cool and went on, you know, whatever, okay, that's Bebo. Yeah. And then the other half of the decade went on with people, you know, believing like I'm the Bhatinda ki Sikhni.
You never stopped talking.
Yeah, I never stopped talking. But maybe I'm a mix of both, people who know me. Yeah. But I think it's not about that. It's about that like I said, that I'm so passionate about acting, and also have to credit so many of my directors and, you know, the actors who've been so amazing in so many movies, like whether it was Omkara, also that's playing at the festival now. I think, you know, like Saif was just out of this world. And, you know, I had a trial and I called, it's just an instant, like I called everybody. Like I said, it's such a good performance, so I'm going to call all the directors, from like Mani Ratnam to everybody, all the directors. I'm going to have this trial and call all the directors, because I think I've done really well in this movie. So I had this trial in Film City and everybody was there, and of course Vishal and, you know, Coco and Vivek and everyone were there, and Saif was also there. And I was like excited that they're going to watch me as Desdemona, because Dolly Mishra is like, you know, she was one of the most, actually Shakespeare never really wrote too many female characters, so it was like such a special character. So I, you know, called all the directors and made them sit and said, okay, now this is it. And in interval, everyone came out and was like, yeah, really nice, really nice. We loved everyone, and, you know, like Saif was amazing. And then the movie ended and everyone was like, you were fab, but where's Saif? Where's Saif? Where's Saif? And I was like, what has happened? I called everybody to praise me, and then suddenly everyone just flocked to Saif and was praising him. But so I have to credit a lot of my films and actors bounce off each other's energy. So I think great films like Omkara or Jab We Met, we've always bounced off each other's energy. Whether it was Amir in Three Idiots also. So famous scenes, you know, you need to take from them as well. So I also want to take this opportunity to thank all my actors, you know, in all these wonderful films, you know, whether all of them, because it's just, you know, without them, none of these films, whether it was Omkara, Jab We Met, any of them that's playing Ashoka would not be what it was without them.
How lovely. Since you thanked your co-stars, any plans of with Saif on screen?
Hopefully soon. I would love to work with him. I mean, right now he's like also going to taste blood, because he's, you know, coming in for the first time in a Telugu film that's releasing next week. So I think that people are really excited. So I would love to do something with him soon, hopefully.
An enviable mix, like I said, of just the right balance. The commercial hits are there, the critically acclaimed ones, a few duds here and there, but every time your performance has stood out. And what's also amazing is while you've done the, you know, like the Buckingham Murder, Chameli, Omkara, but you also have been part of films that clearly center around the male character, the hero, and you've held your own. I just want to understand what you thought while saying yes to those projects, because if you wanted, you could have said, why should I take the step back? I mean, the story should revolve around with me, and I want to headline projects.
I think in 25 years, one has to think of when we were, you know, signing films when we were younger, when we were like 17, 18. It was always about proving yourself, wanting to, just be in every film. And then after a decade, if you sustain, it's also about the question of reinvention, which is very scary in an industry like this, like male-dominated and whatever. But we've, over the years, had a lot of brave actresses as well, apart from me, who've also taken big strides. So while straddling the fact that I've done films with the big superstars and all those are successful films, but I've also had a career which I've simultaneously done to prove myself as an actor. Because I think the longevity of an actor is only possible if they also repeatedly prove their talent. Apart from the X factor that I feel an actor needs to have.
Yeah.
And that I believe, I don't know how it is, but I like to say, you either have it or you don't. And that's just the truth of the way it is. X factor combined with talent is going to take you. And of course, 30% of luck.
Yeah.
Luck is also important. But I feel more than that, it's just, it's straddling the fact. And for me, it's always been, every 5 years, I've always looked back and said, now what am I supposed to do? To try and do something new. Because it's not about just being there and being part of the successful films. It's about having and leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
And that's what's been, because I do come from a family where I've been challenged and always felt like they're so amazing, but I need to leave my mark somewhere. तो ये longevity नहीं होती अगर वो सोच नहीं होता that कि ये करना है, कैसे करना है, how else am I going to last? Otherwise then there would every 10 years there's somebody new. But so sustaining it is the main thing. And for me that is why I have to have choices of Buckingham Murder at the same time of Singham, at the same time of Crew, or a film like Johnny J on the streaming platform, which I feel that if it would have come in the theatres would have been fab. Which I don't know, I hope it comes. I don't know what the deal is if you can, since it was a streaming film. Because I feel it did so well for a streaming platform, it could have done well in the cinema.
You need to have the streaming guys also sitting. They control the rights.
You're right in front of me. Okay, you are the first female actor who has been honored with a festival. We had people like Amitabh Bachchan who had been honored by festival. So when you think about that, is it believable, or how grateful do you feel, or what did you feel? Did you talk to Saif about it, saying that I can't believe it? How does it feel?
So he was extremely happy. He wants to come and watch all the films. he's excited to come. He said, and he loves coming to to PVR and watching movies. And he actually watches most films on Fridays. So when I told him about this, he was very excited. So he wants to do Omkara and Ashoka for sure. So but coming back to your question, I'm just happy that people will get to watch these movies. And obviously, I feel so excited, honored, everything that, sometimes it's like, I don't know, I have to still figure out what's going to happen for the next 25. That's the scary part.
Hi, Kareena. Sana here from India Today. Firstly, I want to tell you there was a time when Yahoo Messenger was popular, and my password was Kareena Kapoor 1309. That's my birthday. That's the kind of love that people have for you. You rightly spoke about legacy, just standing out in a Kapoor family and doing so well. Of course, your kids are very young right now, but does Taimur has an idea that his mother has a film festival named after her? And what do you think would they think about having their mom in a film festival named after their mom?
Right now they're I think too young to know anything. He has an idea because of the paparazzi chasing us, so he knows that why are they chasing us.
Sound.
I think that's why he only knows that he's famous, but he keeps saying that, oh, why are they doing that? Am I famous? I'm like, no, you're not famous. I'm famous. You're nobody. You haven't done anything. So I'm like, you're not. So he's like, maybe one day I'll do it but right now in his mind it's not films. Right now it's only football. everything is football. So I hope he will watch some of my films, I'm sure someday. But the minute I can take him away from, you know, a little bit of football, you know how all the boys are at this age, it's.
But if you have like a mind or brand, what would that, the mind just adds to that, like what is the kind of legacy that you think you're leaving behind, and how would you describe brand Kareena Kapoor?
I never looked at myself as just, you know, a brand. I want people to watch my work, my films, and I want people to know that I was, you know, and that I am an actor who's very, very, you know, passionate about her job. An actor who's been very, very loved by her fans, because I am where I am after 25 years. To be here is only because of them, because their loyal support and their love. And I'm actually, I think my connect is with that. People like to see me in those roles because there is a connect to the masses. Somehow they feel that that's why roles like, you know, Pooh or Geet have always been, you know, them mouthing those dialogues or saying that. So there is that, you know, connect which I really appreciate, and I don't know how, but yeah, I mean, I'm planning the next 25, hopefully, for it to have more films that will, you know, play here in the cinemas and people will enjoy in different roles.
Hi, Kareena. Hi, I'm Hitash from CNN. First of all, congratulations for completing 25 years. Thank you for giving us a great time at the movies. Sorry for being greedy. I have two questions actually. The first being, you know, having, you know, dabbled in so many genres, roles, you know, over 2 decades, is there still a dream role that you have?
Oh, there's no dream role as such. I mean, I always wanted to be a detective, so I've done that. And now I have to think of what else I have to do. But, so I've never really thought of, you know, this is a particular dream role. I look at characters that, something that I would enjoy playing. Because you have to spend, you know, 50, 60, 70 days with that character in you. So you have to really enjoy doing it, you know. That's the most important thing, I think, for an actor. To enjoy playing that part. Otherwise, how will you be able to spend so much time, you know, being that particular person?
My second question, you know, taking it ahead from Sana. So I remember once you had told me that, you know, Taimur loved watching Bhool Bhulaiya along with his dad. But is there any film of yours that he or Jay, they have watched, or do you regulate their screen time a lot?
Yeah, nowadays I have to, so there's no option. I mean, you know, but no, I guess maybe I should get them to watch something at the festival, I think, here, when it's playing.
So would you choose for them whenever they start watching it?
I don't know. I think if I ask everyone, everyone's going to say Jab We Met. So I know that's yeah, I think so, no? Omkara would be a bit shocking to see, you know, for them with their father. So yeah, I think Jab We Met, maybe. Let's start with that. They haven't started watching that, but maybe we should start with that.
Do you regulate their screen time?
I have to. There's no option. So Monday to Friday screen time is like, no. But then he's always like, but then why are you watching TV? Why are you on your phone? So these days, you know, kids are, it has to be, you know, the parents also have to kind of do what they want their kids to do. So, you know, when we're at like wanting to put them to bed, then we're also reading and not watching TV till they go to sleep. Because I guess they learn from example, you know, there's no other way. If they're going to see us on the phone or on the screen, they'll want to do that.
Right. We have time only for one last question.
Hello. So you've been developing very well. Kareena, this is Renuka from the Times of India. I absolutely loved you in the Buckingham Murders. Let me start this question with you by asking that you've been an effortless trendsetter for the past 25 years. Like if Kareena is going with stars makeup, we want no makeup on ourselves. If you're coloring your hair, everybody wants to color their hair, you know. If you're size 0, everybody wants to be size 0. Do you think over the years that aspect of your personality where you have been this effortless trendsetter has taken away from the fact that you have been such a fantastic actor? Because those two aspects kind of go against each other. One doesn't tend to take an actor too seriously if they are this really glamorous trendsetters. But if you look at your filmography, I think be it Jab We Met, to Dev, to Omkara, it has been such flawless, Urta Punjab. so that aspect of you as an actor?
It's actually a very good question. It's one of the best questions someone has asked me because it really makes sense. Your question makes sense to this. So yeah, I guess it is. It's this thing that whether, the more glamorous you are, maybe you're not taken seriously as an actor. People, I guess that's just the way maybe people think. But now that when they see my choice of films and what I've done, I think that, proves wrong, that you can't really judge a book by its cover and you can't really make judgments before you see. But of course, the image of being this, I don't know, like you said, I've never looked at myself as that because I always stay away from, people saying these sort of things to me because I've always preferred to be, with my ear to the ground because it's so important for an actor to constantly have that, to know the reality of situations, the reality of, what's happening around them. So I've been very, very lucky that I'm that kind of person and I've focused on my performances. And it has taken those number of films for people to take me seriously, that now that when Buckingham Murders come, they're like, okay, fine, because I've constantly been at it, proving myself. But that's also probably been the reason of the longevity that's given me that. Because like I said, that I've constantly been at it, trying to prove myself also as an actor. And I think, yeah, hopefully, I don't want, anyone to say that, okay, wow, you've done it all, now what? Because I think I want to constantly keep proving myself still. I think there's a long way to go still.
Thank you.
चाहे वो फूल की बात हो, चाहे वो गीत की बात हो, और अनगिनत किरदार, ओमकारा वाकई में काबिल तारीफ। जब आप क्रू जैसी कमर्शियल फिल्म करने के बाद द बकिंगम मर्डर जैसी फिल्म करते हैं जो बिल्कुल अलग सिनेमा है, एकदम अलग किरदार है आपका, वो क्रू आपने अभी की, वो कमर्शियली इतनी कामयाब फिल्म है, ये इंग्लिश फिल्म है, ये आपने की, ये जुर्रत कहाँ से आती है? और जब क्रिटिकली कोई फिल्म कामयाब हो जाती है, जैसे बकिंगम मर्डर को बहुत तारीफ करी है, लेकिन कमर्शियली उतनी कामयाब नहीं हुई, तो हाउ डू यू हैंडल दिस?
I think after इतने सालों बाद, इतने सारे कैरेक्टर्स करने के बाद, अगर एक्टर्स ब्रेव चॉइसेस नहीं ले पाते हैं और अलग फिल्म्स नहीं कर पाते हैं, तो आई थिंक दे कांट जस्ट बी नोन एज कि अगर मैं जिंदगी भर सिंघम और क्रू में काम करूं तो आई थिंक वो यू ऑल्सो वॉन्ट टू डू थिंग्स डिफरेंटली. वो टू लास्ट 25 years एक ही टाइप की फिल्म में हम नहीं काम कर सकते हैं. अलग अलग फिल्म काम करने में वो एक लॉन्जिटिविटी, एक रास्ता देता है, एक ऑक्सीजन टैंक जैसे बनता है. एंड आई थिंक फॉर अ फिल्म लाइक मैंने चमेली, आई डिड इट एट माय करियर एट द एज ऑफ 22. आई थिंक नोबडी थॉट, तब सब कह रहे थे कि नहीं, करीना नहीं कर पाएगी वैसे टाइप की फिल्म. एंड फॉर दैट टाइम इट डिड सो वेल. सो आई थिंक दैट at this stage in my career, it's also important कि अलग-अलग किरदार करना ज़रूरी है कि करीना ये भी कर सकती है, वो भी कर सकती है. At the same time, गीत जैसे रोल्स ही नहीं कर सकती हूँ मैं. I can't only keep doing गीत all my life. जैसे मैंने कहा कि आधी जिंदगी ऐसी ही चली गई, पहले 10 साल के लोग समझते थे कि ये गीत ही है. अभी ये पूरी टाइप की रोल्स, तभी तो पीपल वर जस्ट ऑफरिंग मी दोस काइंड ऑफ रोल्स. तो अगर आई हैड पिक्ड एवरी रोल लाइक दैट, आई थिंक आज ये फेस्टिवल नहीं होता, क्योंकि वो रोल वुड नॉट हैव बीन पार्ट ऑफ पॉप कल्चर. तो अगले 25 साल करने की ताकत है कि अलग अलग रोल्स, कुछ फिल्में 100 करोड़ हो, 500 करोड़ हो, बट कुछ फिल्में अगर कुछ लोग भी देखे और तारीफ करे, आई थिंक वो उससे दिल खुश भी हो जाता है कि ऑडियंस इज देयर टू वॉच दिस काइंड ऑफ फिल्म.